offensive. I'm sorry, this is much more offensive. I understand we've had the body positivity movement, but this still does not make me prepared to see flaccid, ugly cock. Okay, so I am back after spending the past week traveling all over the United States, and I am finally getting caught up on everything that's been going on. I think the number one thing really at the moment is the peace deal, which around the world, everyone has been celebrating, except for the people that were protesting for a ceasefire back last year and the year before that. We have been seeing this war carry on for 2 years now with horrific consequences for both Israelis and Palestinians. And I think that both sides of the aisle should be celebrating this huge accomplishment. We saw that all the living hostages have been returned, and those videos truly are some of the most powerful things that I've seen. Truly incredible. You can hear both the complete agony and relief, a mixture of the two. It's truly unimaginable. I'm so happy that they are reunited, although that does not take away from the fact that this person has suffered nightmare conditions that none of us will really understand. A lot of people on the left have been struggling to accept the fact that Donald Trump has fostered this deal himself. I'm just seeing now that Time News has posted about this peace plan and giving credit to Donald Trump for the first phase. And of course, I'm seeing Governor Newsom's press office immediately make fun of this by creating this picture where apparently we don't want to see Donald Trump's neck. And it's funny that he's blurring this out as if it's an offensive piece of Donald Trump's body. Meanwhile, we are seeing naked protesters in Portland, Oregon, exposing their genitalia to everyone. Those are things that truly need to be blurred out and nobody wants to see. And I almost feel like they love exposing themselves in this way because they are unfortunately people that probably don't get the opportunity to do that much in private, because just look at them.
I don't really think anyone has any business invading our city with military, and I don't like people being scooped up. I've got friends and family that live here, and it's a safe town. They're not needed, and we like it here.
The whites have activated. This is the emergency naked bike ride. I'm trying not to zoom in and see no penis, y'all. But good Lord, we outside the ICE facility, and they are. Listen, is this an emergency naked bike ride?
It's truly never a body that someone would want to willfully see. And of course, apparently, while this is going on, Newsom decides that he's going to blur out Trump's neck as if that's offensive. I'm sorry, this is much more offensive. I understand we've had the body positivity movement, but this still does not make me prepared to see flaccid, ugly cock and huge, obese people like bicycling through the street in the rain. I really don't know what this accomplishes either, considering the people on the ICE facility are probably just looking down and like, what the fuck? What's so crazy about this too is that so many of the illegal aliens that are being deported are convicted of sex crimes. And so you would think that nobody would want to be exposed in front of a facility containing these people. But again, these people are probably not getting much action. So maybe this is fun for them. But back to the Israeli-Palestinian peace deal. Of course, we are all not surprised, but equally disappointed with Obama's post completely leaving out any credit to President Trump. He posts, after 2 years of unimaginable loss and suffering for Israeli families and the people of Gaza, we should all be encouraged and relieved that an end to the conflict is within sight, that those hostages will still being held will be reunited with their families, and that vital aid can start reaching those inside Gaza whose lives have been shattered. More than that, though, it now falls on Israelis and Palestinians, with the support of the US and the entire world community, to begin the hard task of rebuilding Gaza and to commit to a process that, by recognizing the common humanity and basic rights of both peoples, can achieve a lasting peace. Yes, thank you. That's what we're all thinking, except for the fact that when you mention the support of the US, the support of the US is Donald Trump, who has fostered this deal himself. As somebody who was at Obama's first inauguration as a child, I really am just so disappointed over the years seeing how much of a spineless fraud Barack Obama really ended up being. Because as somebody who's so well spoken and who has all of the qualities of someone who should be a really strong leader, you would think that he would just be more willing to give credit when credit's due and not give in to the pressure of like the far left. He's not even president anymore. He's never going to be president again. What does he have to lose? This has been a historic deal. Governor Newsom is a joke. And while he chirps on about mocking Donald Trump, which is so unoriginal because he's just trying to copy everything he can directly from Trump's book. But regardless, while he's deciding to mock such a historic peace deal, thousands of Californians have yet to see houses and infrastructure rebuilt from the fires that devastated LA. Again, no one's talking about this. This is something that he clearly doesn't have to worry about because he is able to redirect attention when people on the left really are not thinking critically about anything. They're really not investing any time into looking into Newsom's policies and his failures. But again, most of these people that are on the left are actually privileged, spoiled brats who really have nothing to worry about. So there's no reason for them to care if he's failing in these ways. All they care about is how he's representing himself online, because that is more aligned to how they represent themselves to other people. And I think what is ultimately the craziest part of all of this is that while we were brokering a peace deal, countries in the European Union were just outwardly recognizing Palestine as a state, and yet we're not presenting any actions or plans for how a peace deal would be accomplished. So I think this really goes to show that while these other leaders are playing this game of just virtue signaling and appeasing the far radicalized left of their countries, Donald Trump is willing to take the brunt of all of the abuse that he gets, take it in stride, while actually making accomplishments that help the United States and the rest of the world. This probably could have been accomplished sooner if England and France had worked alongside Trump instead of just saying, I declare Palestine as a state. Okay, now what? What exactly else are you doing to help this situation besides taking credit for being such a great person? As we know, all of the Americans that were protesting over the past 2 years for Palestine have been completely silent in the wake of this news. Rather, actually, some of them haven't been silent at all, and some of them have been making a joke out of this entire thing, which I think just ultimately exposes really where their heart lies in this matter. And it's not for Gaza, and it's not for Palestinians, it's for their own cause of tearing down MAGA and the right. They don't want peace. They literally just want an excuse to riot, to get all of their teenage angst out of them because they have never suffered from anything in their lives. They want something to stand for, and this is the clear evidence of that. This is truly about feeling like you have a purpose because you've never had one. And ultimately, guys, that's it for today. Make sure you hit subscribe. I will be catching up on more and more news, especially after this week of travel. we must all do this in stride, and I must do this in bite sizes, because I will lose my mind if I were to just consume all of this crazy shit all at one time. So I'll see you in the next video.